On Thursday, we awoke to news that South Australians were closing their borders to Victoria over some hotel thingy or other. But more importantly, a Texas lawyer appeared before a judge during a court case on a live Zoom as a cat.
I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
Nice try, cat. You can't fool me with your legalese. Also Thursday, Breakfast News was asking the tough breakfast questions.
Orange juice or Diet Coke, which drink do you think is healthier? Under proposed changes to the Australian Health Star rating system, Diet Coke is better for you than 100% Australian orange juice.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I've always said that OJ was the real killer. And besides, Diet Coke is all natural, with food acids 338 and 330, sweeteners 951 and 950, and of course, my favourite ingredient, flavour. That's why the Department of Health gave it a respectable 3.5 stars. Juice wasn't so lucky.
Fruit juice has lost its 5-star health rating because of its high sugar content.
The food regulator bumped fruit and vegetable juices down to a 2-star rating over health concerns.
2 stars! Orange juice is now the beverage equivalent of an Uber driver who just won't shut up. The ruling had Big Pharma demanding a shake-up. Sorry, a Big Pharma demanding a shacky-up.
Well, by penalising fresh Australian unsweetened juice, it's impacting on farmers. I mean, it's death by 1,000 cuts.
And death by 1,000 cuts must really sting when you're up to your neck in Australian unsweetened juice. But at least no one can have a problem with that sweet taste of an all-natural can of Diet Coke.
It's been revealed every single COVID-19 virus particle circulating the globe at the moment could fit into a single Coke can.
Don't touch that. To Friday, and fears our vaccination program was falling behind.
If vaccination was an Olympic sport, we would be stuck on the starting blocks. Every continent on Earth has begun their COVID immunisation program, except Australia and Antarctica.
Bad for the country, but a huge win for Australian anti-vaxxers who just really want to see a penguin. And while we wait, the rest of the world is getting its shots in.
In the thick jungle of the Amazon, even remote Brazilian tribes are being vaccinated against COVID-19.
That's not fair. They already have better broadband speeds than we do. With Australian vaccine rollout lagging behind and every second vital, Prime Minister Scott Morrison dressed up as the most patriotic mum in the tuck shop to wander around a factory distracting anyone who was actually working on the vaccine. Still, it's important that we breathe and keep it all in perspective.
Without a COVID death in months, there is no emergency here in Australia.
Exactly. There is no COVID emergency in Australia. Then, later on Friday, a COVID emergency in Australia. Victorian Premier Groundhog Dan emerged from his burrow to announce 5 more days of lockdown.
From 11:59 p.m. tonight, Victoria, all of Victoria, will go to stage 4.
Our third COVID lockdown, and once more sparked by the escape of the virus from hotel quarantine.
Don't worry, our quarantine security is going to be first. Hey! I think that bin bag is making a break for it. The real losers from the lockdown, aside from the patients, obviously, were small business.
This 5-day snap lockdown is really hitting our economy hard. It's expected across our state businesses will lose revenue of over $100 million. As for the produce and the food that they've already ordered, it's expected over $30 million in food wastage will end up in our bins.
Terrible news for shops, but a real solid for all the shitty boyfriends who'd forgotten to make any Valentine's plans. Not me, of course. I did what I always do for Valentine's and booked my wife and I the nebulizer suite at the airport Holiday Inn. To Saturday, where everyone began the weekend with one thing on their mind.
Now, Valentine's treats today, the easy and delicious foods to get you in the mood for love. We're going to look at that.
Sorry? And protecting your pets from being stolen. The dog's being targeted by thieves in Australia's new crime wave.
Yes, this Valentine's Day, tell the one you love they stole your heart, but someone else stole your dog. And for 1.8 billion people around the world, there was another celebration kicking off.
Bringing in the year of the ox, Lunar New Year celebrations kick off a time of strength and perseverance.
While events like the Sichuan province's Lantern Festival were streamed virtually, other entertainers still had to rock up to work.
Spare a thought for these essential workers in central China. Their job is to grab hot coals to celebrate the Spring Festival. The 500-year-old performance involves throwing molten iron heated to 1600 degrees Celsius at a cold wall.
In terms of essential workers, molten iron cold wall guy feels as essential as comedy news presenter, so I wholeheartedly support them. But my favourite Lunar New Year tradition is the pandering from white politicians to Asian constituents, like American Ambassador to Vietnam, Daniel Crittenbrink, who got so hyped for the festival, also known as Tet, that he dropped some dope bars.
Time for introductions are at hand. Hi, my name is Dan. I'm from Nebraska. I'm not a big city boy. Then 3 years ago, I moved to Hanoi. Check the calendar, Tet is coming soon. Kanta and Da Nang are in the mood.
I think I can safely say that is unequivocally the worst atrocity America has ever committed in Vietnam. Prime Minister Scott Morrison also reflected on what he loved most about the Year of the Ox, himself.
Happy Lunar New Year to everyone celebrating here in Australia. I think I've got one or two things in common with the Ox. They work as part of a team. They're calm, conscientious, and of course very hard-working.
Constantly excrete bullshit, complicit in rising greenhouse emissions, can usually be observed just sort of standing around in a field doing nothing. God, the list just goes on and on. On your ScoMox. Sunday saw ex-President Donald Trump back in the news cycle he'd never really left.
Former President Donald Trump tonight declared not guilty of the impeachment charge he incited insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th.
While a majority found that he did incite the riot, there were not the two-thirds of senators required to convict, leaving Trump once again behind in a popular vote, disgraced, but claiming victory nonetheless. Or, as his least favourite son Eric put it, 2-0. And if Trump children are anything to go by, Donald really stops caring after the second. Trump's lawyers argued that to impeach a president after they leave office would create a dangerous precedent.
If the Senate endorses the House Democrats' absurd new theory, you will set a precedent that will trouble leaders from both parties, literally, for centuries to come.
Next, Monday. And the Pfizer vaccine touched down with enough doses to cover almost 1/3 of 1% of the Australian population, a feat the government compared to the moon landing.
The Eagle has landed.
Melburnians did their best to get on with life in lockdown.
Did you realise there's a lockdown?
Can't wait for some of these snags. These are going to be good ads.
We also turned to royal news, where it's been a gangbusters week for the list of people who need to die before Prince Edward can become king. Cosmo reported that Kate and William are trying for baby number 4, and Queen Liz has been informed, which I'm sure she loved. Hey, Nan, as well. Yeah, we've stopped using Johnny's, and honestly, the sensation is tip-top. Nan, why are you crying? Nan? This on top of last week's exciting news that Princess Eugenie, who I don't remember, gave birth to her firstborn baby, whose name she didn't reveal, but betting pools have Philip as frontrunner and Ronald as the outside chance. Although the real outside chance is me remembering which one Eugenie is. I think she was in Aladdin. But wait, there's more. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, or Duchess and Suchsex for short, made their own baby announcement Monday morning.
Hear ye, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are expecting a baby. Wowee.
Oh, a beautiful announcement of a baby sibling for young Archie, only slightly dampened by the New Idea front page on the same day, proclaiming Meghan and Harry's marriage all over. Although, thanks for reminding me who Eugenie is. To Tuesday, more shocking footage of bin bags attempting to escape hotel quarantine. And the country reeled from the Project's confronting interview with Brittany Higgins regarding allegations of a sexual assault inside Parliament House, which received this baffling response from the Prime Minister.
Jenny and I spoke last night, and she said to me, you have to think about this as a father first. What would you want to happen if it were our girls?
Yeah, it's a powerful question. I think the first thing I'd want is to have a leader of the nation capable of empathising with women who he isn't even related to. If that doesn't come naturally, perhaps he could ask his $190,000 empathy consultant for some tips. But if he really wants to lead like a dad, maybe I could talk to him like a son. Hey, Dad, you big old ox. I was just wondering, are you the boss of where you work? Because why are you always the last to know what's going on at the office? And why does Mum always have to tell you how to do your job? Is Mum the Prime Minister? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great that she reminded you to think about your daughters, but instead, maybe it's time to talk to your sons. Which brings us to today, Wednesday. And as Melbourne was released from lockdown again, those still without jobs were waiting for clarity on rumoured changes to JobKeeper again.
I'm not going to speculate on speculation. Look, I'm not going to speculate on speculation.
Yeah, thanks for your help.